Hello and welcome to this tutorial. My name is John Hamilton and today I'm going to be teaching you how to create these moving platforms. So as you can see, if I jump and move along and then you can jump again and I'll move along and you can get to your destination and it works all fine. So let's get into it. So I'm going to come over to this other scene over here, and as you can see I've just got some basic characters with some platforms for him to stand on and a little box in the middle which is going to be our moving platform. So as you can see, it's just been scaled down a little bit. It's not that hard to do. So what you're going to want to do is to have your platform like this, and you're going to keep it in the center because that will be good for now. So what you want to do is you want to start animating this. So we want it to go back and forth, so we want to animate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this and we're going to move it along here, so on the y-axis up, and you could move it over there and stuff, but for now we're just going to be going on the y-axis. So I'm going to move it a little bit more. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to insert a location keyframe by going Control I and then go to about 50. And then you want to put in another keyframe. Alright, you want to take it all the way back to the other side and put in another keyframe at 50. Right, so as you can see, it moves along. So you want to go to frame 99 because we want it to just be a little bit off so that it fits in with the first frame. So you want to add a keyframe at frame 99. What you actually want to do is, so you want to grab these first ones in Dosi editor, coming over to the animation editor, and you want to grab these and go Control D and duplicate them, then move them over to frame 99. So that's just going to keep it in the same place. So as you can see, I'm just zooming in to get it in the correct place, so it's on frame 99. So as you can see, it moves along and then it moves back. So as you can see, it's a bit hard, so we want to make a bit soft, so we want to make it a bit more hard. So we can try vector. So we're going to click that and it's not working. And the reason for this is that I did not select all of the things. So what you see is in a second, I will select them. So you want to select them all and you want to go and change this to vector, and that's going to make them all hard. So what you see now is you should see, once I play the animation, that it works quite nice and it's quite hard. Now you can change the length of these keyframes to make it longer or shorter, but that should be fine for now. So we've got our animation, so we're going to come back to game logic and we're going to add some game logic to it. So what we're going to do is add a always sensor. So I'm going to add that in and just going to close it down. And then we want to add an action actuator. So as you can see, I'll add action actuator. So what we want to do is we want to select our action. So as you can see, that's the name of our cube, and then it just puts action on the end when you make an animation. So it's move action, right? And we had an animation of 99, so we want to set the end frame to 99. As you can see, I'll do it in a second. Yep. So now see, if we connect this up, the platform is moving. So as you can see, it doesn't loop, so you're going to come up here and you want to change this to loop end. Now you can change it to loop stop if you want, but it doesn't really make much of a difference in this circumstance, so either of them will work fine. So as you can see, now it loops and it moves back and forth and never stops. So as you can see, if we try to jump on it though, we just slip straight off. So you want to fix this. So how you're going to do this is a little bit of a hack. It's not like the program way. If you were to do it with Python, you could probably find a better way with Python, but I kind of wanted to make a tutorial for people that don't really want to use Python. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a cube in, and we are going to scale this down on the y-axis. There we go, on the y-axis, and we're going to move it to the edge. We're going to move it up, And we're going to move it down a little bit, and we're going to apply the scale. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to change it to collision bounds and boxes enabled by default. Then I'm going to duplicate it and move it over. So as you can see, now what we want to do is we want to make both of these invisible. And then we want to grab them and parent them to the main object. And what you see is if we press play, when I jump on it, nothing happens. And why is nothing happening? Because I jumped on it wrong. So as you see now, it is working and it works great. You do have to jump sort of correctly, but you'd have to anyway in the game, so it works pretty well. So if we were to duplicate it and move it over, you see a problem. It just goes in the same place, and we don't want that. We want to be able to add multiple of these wherever we want. So the way we can do this is a little bit cheaty. It's kind of like localizing animations. You could localize it using this force and add and local and all that stuff, but I have had problems with that. So what I like to do is I like to grab all of this, and then I'll move it to another layer. So M, and then just move to another layer. And I'm going to go to that layer, and what we want to do is add an empty. So as you see, I just add an empty at the center. Then you want to grab the main platform and parent it to the empty. So what you see is if we were to move this around, it will be localizing the animation in the game. So that empty doesn't have any animation, so it's basically going to be localizing the animations. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this to a group so we can easily add it in without having to worry about lots of different things. So what we can do is if we were to go Control G, it will make it into a group, and if we grab the empty and come down in the object panel, we'll find the group, and we can change the name of the group. So let's change it to move. That would be good. Alright, so if we go to our first layer and we add this in with a group instant, as you can see, I have group FPS player. That's just my player model. So don't worry about that. You won't have that. You just have that move. So add that in. So I'll do that in a second. All right. So as you can see, now we have a group instance there. So what you can see is if I add this and duplicate it and move it over, they are moving at the same time, and it's not going into the other one. It also has the side barriers, and if I rotate it around, what's really neat about this, as you can see, we have two platforms going different directions. So this is going to be really useful for your games because you can move it wherever you want, have it going in different directions. And if it's a little bit fast for you, or you find out your players can't quite get over it because it's too fast, you might want to slow down the animations a little bit, but this should be fine for me. So as you can see, it works great. And you can even duplicate it and put it at some odd angle. So there's something going at a very strange angle. So that is how you set it up, and I'm sure it'll work great for any platform games you want to make. If you have any questions about this tutorial, comment them down below. If you have a better way of doing this, also comment them down below. And you can find more of my tutorials on blenderreal.com, or you can find them on my YouTube channel as well.